Did I hear that once again you failed another one of your interviews? I'm starting to see a trend here that's going to lead to you becoming a nobody. You really are a useless woman. But I guess you never chose to move on to college or anything higher than high school. So we all knew from the start that you weren't going to be getting anywhere.
I'm sorry that I never went anywhere after high school, but it's not because of that I'm having such a hard time right now finding a company that's willing to hire me. I just happen to want to go down a different path than other women, and that's why it'll be more difficult for me to find work that I want. I feel that if I don't get the kind of work that I want, then I'll never be able to take that kind of work seriously.
Huh? What are you rambling on about? I know that it's due to you never making it out with a college degree that nobody wants to hire you. We are a family of elite bankers, and we're all getting pretty close to kicking you out of the family for your repeated failures. I've already talked a lot of this over with Mom, but could you possibly stop coming back home to us now?
What? What are you talking about, Joyce?
We are already planning to take all your things that are still in this house and throwing them away for you. So don't even bother coming back here. Go out into the world and take care of yourself, you trash.
Wait, but asking me to do that out of left field is way too soon, right? I do want to get out of the house just as much as all of you want me to, but saying that you're already going to be throwing my things out and kicking me out so soon is too fast.
We're not going to be throwing away your things, though.
Huh?
After all your failed attempts to become someone more than just a loser in this family, you and all your things are like garbage. And garbage has to be thrown out. So we'll make sure that the trash gets taken out right away. Therefore, you are now on your own with no family left to support you. Goodbye now, you filthy mess.
I've always felt that all of you have been terrible for people I call family, but I never expected you all to take things this far. Kicking me out of the house just like that, it's crazy.
And don't even bother trying to come back to us ever again. But even if you do still feel as though you'll find a way back into the family, know that we'll have the lock changed and you'll never be able to come back into the house. Ha! I'll even make sure to let all of our neighbors know that you're not welcome here anymore. And to call the police if they ever see you around our house. Consider this your one and only warning. Ha!
You're going even further with all this now? When are you guys going to stop with this nonsense? Don't you guys even feel a bit of sadness that you're doing this to your own family right now? I have dealt with you all this whole time, even with all the hate you throw my way. But I guess this is where I should draw the line, because I seriously never thought a day like this would come so soon.
Well, this is all because of you, right? We are a family of highly praised bankers. Yet, you never bothered trying to make anything of yourself. You never gave it your all in education, and you never tried when it came to finding a job. So there's no other choice than this. You couldn't even do the one thing that this family is known for, and that's being good with money.
But I never wanted to be a banker or have anything to do with money. I had tried working for a bank when I graduated high school, but it wasn't for me. And I chose to go down a different path than all of you did. But because of that, you and the rest of the family call me a failure, even though I have been doing just fine following my dream.
Say whatever the heck you'd like. We've all decided to have you kicked out of this house. So don't try coming back, or you'll only make life worse for yourself. Now, goodbye forever, you pile of garbage. Ha! And I'm never going to even think of you as my sister from now on.
Wait, Joyce, are you actually wanting to go through with all of this? Can you guys at least give me my things to take with me? Throwing all of those things away is not okay. Please.
I'm beyond surprised. I never actually thought today would be the day that I'd be seeing you again after all these years. Especially at a place like here.
I'm just as surprised as you are about this. But what really shocked me was the way you began to freak out when you saw me and screamed to have me thrown out at once, which, of course, people followed through with.
Where did you end up hearing that I'd be having my wedding today? I bet after hearing about me finding a man of my own, you became jealous and wanted to find your way into here. Well, I never wanted to see you again after we kicked you out of the family a long time ago. You pile of garbage. Ha ha ha.
So even after 12 years have gone by, you're still going to call me a pile of garbage? I was sure that you would have changed after such a long time of having never seen me, but I was wrong.
Oh, why did you come here today? Even Mom is upset after having to see you again after so long. And she wants to know just as much as I do why you came all the way here to see us. I seriously do not ever remember sending you any sort of invitation to my special day. So why have you made your way in here uninvited? Did you think you could make up with us again?
That was never my reason for coming today. And I never knew that this was going to be your wedding either.
Really? I can tell that you're lying to me right now. If you never knew that today was going to be the day of your sister's wedding, then why did you come here all dressed up like you were trying to impress us and get back into the family? I'm sorry, but clothing like that is still not going to meet our family's standards.
I'm very well aware that both you and Mom are never going to let go of all the hate you have for me. But unlike the future you saw me having, I have not become a failure, and if anything, I've come out on top. And having to hear from you today that you wanted me to leave your wedding without even giving me the chance to retort, you've confirmed to me that both you and Mom are hopeless.
Oh, come on now, Alice. We know better than to let you talk to us after how much you'd fallen. Tell me, have you actually come out on top of us after all these years? Are you working for the banks now as a banker yourself?
I'm not a banker.
Well, then that confirms to all of us that you are a failure and will never climb out of that pit you dug yourself into. Ha! So, now, tell me why you had to come back into our lives like that on my biggest day. Could this all have something to do with you losing all your money and wanting us to hand some over to you? We all told you long ago that we have no use for someone who never graduated with a college degree and who never became a banker like the rest of us. And I never remember sending any failures an invitation to my wedding today.
So you have no clue about me then?
Huh? What else is there to know about you?
I did not come to this wedding today to celebrate you or ask for your money. I'm here at this wedding today because the groom of the wedding today, your husband, is one of my employees. I came as his CEO to show support for him on his special day.
Huh? You're his CEO. Why are you starting to spew complete nonsense at me now like that?
As far as I'm aware, the man you are having this wedding with today, Ethan, is working for me within my company. But I never once thought that the woman he'd be getting married to today would be my long-lost sister from so long ago. Well, I understand everything now, and can begin to see how all of this happened. He did tell me a little while back that he'd be getting married to someone who works for the bank.
Why are you calling him Ethan like you know him? There's no way him and you are close enough to where you actually know him that well. Tell me the real reason as to why you know the name of my husband.
And I've been explaining to you the reason why for the past couple of minutes now. But for some reason, you're not willing to accept anything I've told you thus far, huh? Well, I don't ask that you understand everything I'm explaining to you, but please know that this is all the truth.
Wait, then you actually are his CEO? You're actually telling me that you are my husband's boss?
You could call me his boss, but I'm the CEO of the company he works for. And there's a few people between him and I when it comes to who his bosses really are. I can see now why all of you guys were in such a panic today when you saw me. I bet you never actually thought that the woman you called a failure so long ago and kicked out of the house with all her things would turn into someone who has their own company and has hired your husband.
I bet you're nothing in reality. There is no way in hell you've actually become a CEO after we kicked you out. Well, at least I thought there was no way in hell. Are you really a CEO now?
I really am. You're being a jerk right now acting like that about me, Joyce. I'll have to talk with Ethan about all of this soon so that he has better understanding of what all he's gotten into.
Huh? What do you plan to tell him about?
Well, I had planned to come to his wedding today as he wanted me to introduce myself as his CEO to his family and friends. But you've gone and kicked me out of there before I even had a chance to explain things. I have once again been kicked out by both my mom and sister after they both started yelling at me and calling me a pile of garbage and a failure. So I have no desire to come back to your guys' wedding now. I'll have to tell Ethan about this so that he's aware I'll no longer be around to introduce myself to anyone.
Ah, crap. He did tell me that today everyone would get to meet his CEO, but I never assumed they'd be you. When he showed me the name of his CEO, she had the same first name as you, but the last name was different.
It's been over a decade now since we last talked. It wouldn't be crazy for me to have gotten married in that time frame and changed my last name, right?
You got married. In other words, you're saying that you got married to someone before I did?
It's been a little over 5 years now since I had my wedding. And it was 10 years ago that I started my little company, and within the past decade, it's grown exponentially to where I now have a few offices outside the city. Ethan has been working for me for a very long time now, at least 7 years, I believe. And he's even on track to being promoted into a far better position after his wedding.
Hey, Alice. I'm not sure if what all you're saying is 100% true or not, but can you promise me that you won't say anything necessary to Ethan about this today?
What about this would be necessary to him?
I don't want him thinking that the whole reason his CEO couldn't come today to introduce herself to everyone was because of me. Go and tell him that you couldn't make it to the wedding because you feel sick or something like that, okay? I don't even believe you when you say you're his CEO, but this is all just to be on the safe side of things. So, if you really are, then do as I've asked, and I promise not to get any more upset with you. You understand what I'm asking from you, right?
What kind of person do you think I am? You're asking me to do all that for you, even though you've always looked down on me and hurt me in multiple ways? Funny how much the tables turn when you realize that I'm not the one in a deep hole that I can't get out of, but rather, you are. Let me just say this. No matter how hard you try to talk me out of telling him, it's too late. I bet when your husband, Ethan, hears about all of this, he's going to explode on you.
Why would he end up being that upset with me? Stop talking to me about my husband like you know him better than me.
Did you know that he never graduated with a college degree either? And that the only reason he has a job right now is because I gave him a chance back then? He's just like me in a way, coming from a past where nobody respected him, and now he's going to learn that you never respected me for that same reason.
What? Ethan never graduated from college? Oh.
It's crazy to think that after how much you bullied me for never graduating from a college, you managed to find someone to make your husband who was in the same boat as me.
Well, who cares if he graduated with a degree or not after high school? He's still very young and has a lot of time ahead of him to make lots of money with that brain of his. I know for a fact that he'll never have to worry about finding work in his life because he has the perfect job right now.
But the one that gave him that perfect job happened to be me, the person you bullied long ago for not having a degree. Well, I did manage to go to technical school after that, so you could say I am certified in the work I do. I happen to have the brains and ability, though, where I can succeed in life just like everyone else, without having a degree in anything. I wonder what Ethan will think, though, when he finds out that you bullied someone like him so much and kicked her out of your own family for never going to college.
Wait, stop that. I told you not to tell him anything unnecessary. He'll start to think that I'm some sort of monster for thinking and acting like that.
Ah, sorry. I just told him about all of that.
What? What the hell are you talking about?
Seems that, by the way, he's responded to me. He's in disbelief about you right now.
No freaking way, Alice. We are supposed to start the wedding really soon here, and now my man is getting pissed off. And he's telling me right now that he never thought of me as being such a disgraceful human. I'm in a panic right now, Alice.
Well, you starting to panic about all of this isn't going to change the fact that you screwed up. And I think Ethan has the right to know the real kind of woman you are before he gets any further with you in this wedding. If you were going to make it any further with your antics today without him noticing, then his reaction would only be worse than it is now come the time he realizes the real you. I know this must hurt a lot to have happened now, but I think it'd be best if you gave up now.
What do you mean you think it's best for me to give up now? What the hell do you think I should be giving up on? Hold on, this is not good. It looks like Ethan is asking for this whole wedding to be canceled now.
I knew something like that would happen. But I have to say, I agree with what he's thinking. I know that you're both already married now, but I'm sure that he doesn't want things to go any further with you now that he's heard everything. Next, he'll probably be asking for a divorce.
Huh? Why are you thinking that the worst outcomes are going to happen to us? I do not want him to leave me. I'd finally found myself a man that has a good job and can bring in all the money I need. But now I have to live with the news that he's been working for you this whole time. What the hell is up with all of that?
As far as I'm aware, you're the only one that should be considered the mess-up in all of this.
But you're the one that should have never been able to become the CEO of any company. How the hell have you pulled off such a lie that you were able to get even my husband to believe you?
I told you that none of this is a lie, Joyce. You heard everything from Ethan himself now, right? So you should understand that everything I've said is the truth. I am the CEO of the company he works for. And I always will be, whether you want to believe that fact to be true or not. And that's why at this moment, Ethan is very upset with you. His idea of the person you are was wrong. Someone like you that acts like a bully and thinks that those who never graduated from college are trash don't deserve to become happy. Now you and Mom get lost and fix your ways of thinking.
Even if you do tell us to leave and change, this was the day that I had been dreaming of having for so long now. I was about to have a really good man as my husband. But now you're saying that things with him won't work out? Are you telling me that he no longer loves me?
It's not about whether he loves you or not anymore, but that he's been blown away by the monster he's learned you are. I'm sure anyone would be acting the way he is now after learning the person they love is a disgraceful woman.
But seeing that he trusts you more than he trusts me, don't tell me that you've been planning on something like this happening for the past 12 years now.
What about this would I have planned for?
You knew that he was going to marry me, and that's why you decided to employ him. Also that you could get your revenge on me, right?
There's no way that'd be the case. How selfish can you be, Joyce? Seriously. I told you already that he's been working for me in this for a very long time now. So would you stop trying to make things about this worse by selfishly changing the story to make you the victim?
So then this is all just happening by coincidence only.
We live in a pretty small world. I didn't believe that I'd be running back into you ever again either, after you all kicked me out of the house. But I'm sure that after today, you and I really will never have to run into one another again.
I just want us to go back to cutting ties with one another. But if I do that now and leave all of this mess as it is, then Ethan's going to end up leaving me as well. This is all your freaking fault! I'm supposed to be your big sister, right? So you can do something to save me from losing my husband and my wedding. Do something about this right now. Hurry up!
There's nothing I can do, nor want to do to help you. Everything that happens from now on regarding your marriage to Ethan has no relation to me. All I did today was tell Ethan about the person you are, and about how your actions have affected me in the past, as well as today. But he's the only one that can choose what to do with all of that information, not me. I'm sorry that you never learned to give up on treating me like garbage after 12 years, but this is what happens to rotten people. But maybe now that everything is affecting you personally, you'll start to learn from all of this and change for the better. Now, good luck with that and everything else that's going to ruin your life.
Wait, please, Alice. Please get Ethan to understand me and continue with the wedding. You're his CEO after all, so he'll have to listen to you, right?
Well, if he's going to listen to me, then I'll ask him to cancel this wedding and get as far away from you as possible. Having to be married with you for the rest of his life would be the worst thing to ever happen to him, and I don't want that.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Now, can you stop replying to me about all of this? You're being a pain in my butt. Goodbye forever now, you pile of garbage. Must really burn to be a failure in a family filled with elite bankers. Maybe you can go bring Mom along with you as you go burn in hell. In the end, Alice went and told pretty much everything to Ethan about his wife and how she views people that never went to college. And because of that new information to him, he ended up canceling the wedding and getting a divorce from Joyce. Ethan has always been very thankful of everything Alice had given him with the job, and so his love for Joyce died within seconds of hearing the truth. And as for Joyce and her mother, the family learned about what they'd done to Alice by kicking her out of the wedding and were just as pissed at them as Ethan was. Joyce would then lose her job within her family's bank and would go on to be the family's new failure.